Okay, so we do want to start. One thing is, just so we know for technical things, this is being live streamed, okay, and it'll be on YouTube. But you got to speak up. Okay? If we're not using a microphone, we may have to use that in the future ones. But we're not using a microphone to try to make it. I just don't want to disturb all the classes. So when you do talk, just project. Okay. Great. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Josette and I'm the ESC president.
My name is Shimei Ivy. I'm a grade 12 and I'm the co-president of DECA.
Yeah.
My name is me. I'm AC.
And this is our lovely vice principal. So who here knows what town hall is? What the purpose of town hall is?
Solve issues in the school.
That's right. Yeah, basically town hall is part of this overall initiative that we started in the school last year called Operation Student Voice. And the point of Operation Student Voice was to extract student voice to help improve our school community to make both the best possible school ever, the best school, and to make your high school experience amazing and suited to you. And the issues discussed at past town halls always led to change, positive change. So today we're hoping to implement positive change by using your feedback for various issues. So first of all, let me get started. So first of all, communication is crucial in letting you guys know about different events and different things happening in the school. So in your opinion, what methods are effective or ineffective in getting the word out about different school events?
Word effective or you can use Instagram.
Yeah. So how would you use that? You know, you guys got to remember, in regards to the school, I mean, I know ESC and all the councils have Twitter accounts. The school actually has a Twitter account as well. But you got to remember, even the most adept adults aren't used to it, right? We haven't grown up using this. So feedback for you guys as to how would you use it? How would we say get more followers and things like that to be able to? What would have to be on there for you to say this is a destination I'm going to check?
You guys can put stuff like recent events that are happening, civic days and stuff.
Okay. So more like it's almost like a news feed sort of thing. To get that. Yeah.
Like a update or reminders. Because I know that some of the social media accounts, they remind us, but a lot of times, even though they remind us, most of us still don't know. So we need to find like an effective way to remind people because we have cities day that the people who come to school do are together for cities day.
Right. And how many people? Okay, so how many people have Twitter? Use it. And how many follow the school account? How many follow ESC? Okay. And then any other clubs. So that's there's a sense there that maybe we need to get the word out about those accounts too. How can we do that?
Spending around the school, like on the TV, during lunches, and on the walks.
Right, gotta get the account. Okay, good. Now, this is a question for me. I use Twitter all the time. I don't use Instagram. And I've actually been asked to do a professional development thing for teachers about using social media for school. But, so, can you explain to me how you would use Instagram? As far as I understand Instagram, it's just send a picture with a caption. Is that kind of what it is? And it's like Twitter in that there's like a streaming also. So how would you use that for school?
Most of the students in the school actually have Instagram more than Twitter. So I think if you made a page and then had some of the students in the school that like most people follow and have them promote the page, then everybody will start to follow them. So that everyone will be following the school page and stuff like that. So you want the Instagram.
So when you follow the page, you're following but it's just a picture. Right?
You see a picture and a caption.
A picture and a caption.
Whenever you post something that many people together.
So you're saying you probably are now starting, you should be more visual too, right? Not just text based. So, okay. Right. And Instagram, you can put little videos too now, right?
Yeah.
With Vine, that was cool.
That's it.
Sadly, I'm actually really tech, but not when it comes to that stuff. So now Instagram, I think there's Twitter. There's a Facebook's not in the game anymore. Because your parents use Facebook, right? It's always funny when parents talk about Facebook when they're kind of in. They don't use it. Okay, that's good. Well, that's visual. Yeah, we need to do that. Okay, excellent.
Also, in terms of tweets, what would you say makes a tweet retweetable? Like, what would appeal to you in a tweet or in an Instagram post?
Quotes or something. Yeah.
Well, like inspirational quotes.
If they're funny, usually people take them.
Something eye-catching.
But related to the event. You gotta think about branding things a little bit.
So, how many of you know that we have an announcements app? How many of you actually use the app?
Or how many of you like download the app and actually use it?
I downloaded it and
Oh,
Was it not effective or was it?
Well, it seems to be that for some phones, mostly Android phones, it's not stable enough. Like the app will crash every 5 minutes. Like for my friend, and then he set it up on his phone, but like sometimes the announcements doesn't show up properly, so you only see like half of what they're trying to project. So you don't even know what they're talking about.
Okay.
We need more publicity about the app and how to download it onto our phones.
How would you do that? I mean, we were sort of struggling that when we were talking to general counsel about it. You know, Mr. Sanchez is the one who sort of set that up, and his class created, or somebody created those posters that were around. But the problem is there's really kind of a step by step. It's not just, hey, just download this app. It's download this app, and this is how you set it up. Because you have to set it up for a specific account, a specific email. So, how would you get that out? Like, would there be value to say creating like a little, I don't even know, like creating a YouTube video that you then tweet out the link to say this is how you do it?
Like a how-to.
Like a commercial.
Yeah, how-to thing, like how to do
What would you say would like make you want to download the app? Like, what would make the app appeal to you?
I think if it wasn't just announcements, I think we had some big creators that like really have like acting and the online video stuff. We can put videos like ESC videos and stuff like that, like people will want to look at that and like show the French stuff like that, like just like fun stuff, not just the announcements.
Yeah, there is a link that you can get the whole screen, you know, where the videos and all that stuff too. The problem is that would take a lot, and that's a lot of bandwidth, right? So if you're using the app mobile, you'd be using a whole lot of data. I mean, if you're using the app just for wireless, then you're probably okay. But if you're trying to use it with your data, it would take like that. Your streaming video, so that would take a lot of your data. But okay.
So next we'll move on to athletics, and our athletic director can take over. So first of all, how many of you here play sports or like sports?
So, what is missing from our school in regards to athletics?
Like I was saying intramurals, so like I know it's hard to get food now, but we're looking at lunch and you do the lunch.
Okay.
So a lot of people in my class are cooking and it's one.
That's something that we talk about a lot, even I and the athletic. Lunchtime seems like more of a real conflict because there are gym classes going on during lunch period. So also with that, not a lot of people want to sacrifice their lunch just for sports. And then if you go to fourth period and you're tired and you haven't eaten lunch, then that's something that can really conflict. So So.
Also, we were also considering implementing a house food, right?
Yeah, so we're thinking about like a house league, maybe a couple of weeks when all the sports teams die down a little bit, so there's a little bit of a break. So maybe there might be a basketball tournament or badminton tournament where people will put themselves in a drawing. So you select a couple names. You guys have like pickup teams, probably for basketball, 3-on-3. You guys put it into random teams, and then you guys play maybe once every Wednesday for 4 months.
Yeah, I think there's real value to that. And the issue is, you know, I've been at schools where I was at one school where there was only one lunch, and with there being one lunch, there was no classes during that lunch, so we were able to do stuff at that lunchtime break. So it was great. You know, there was a staff team that competed against, and we killed it. They destroyed it. But I think there's a good idea. When I was a student here, I don't know, you know, that I was a student here a long time ago. We had like after school flag football teams, and we did when I was on the senior boys basketball team. We had an intramural team, so that the senior boys were the captains of the teams, of the different teams, and had like an after school intramural program. It was actually really big. It was full court games, and it was pretty intense. But the truth of the matter was there was less teams here then, so after school gym time was a lot easier to get. And we did it near the end of the year. Now near the end of the year might be possible because there's more outdoor teams that are you know, soccer's going on, there's baseball and those sorts of things, track. So they're kind of outside. So there's a possibility of using the gym a little bit more then, but it's really a matter of finding gyms. There's so many teams, so much time. That's a good idea.
So what else is missing in regards to athletics?
Football team.
Yeah, okay, football team. So football teams are remarkably expensive, like very expensive. That's why there's only, in the Catholic board, there's only, I think, 4 or 5 teams of the 35 high schools. There's not that many. It's very, very, very expensive. So you gotta figure, you know, I was at Western Elementary when they started the football team, and you know, just like a little aside, every helmet costs a couple $100, and you have to replace those helmets every 5 to 7 years because of warranty stuff. That's just every helmet, much less padding and all those sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's a great sport to have, and then the other part is it's really hard to maintain. There's not a lot of people who play football, and what they play in. So you know, we've considered it in the past. I know when I was a student here, that's what I asked for, and so just know that that's a commitment that says, one, you have to have a coaching staff. And usually for a coaching staff for a football team, unlike a basketball team, is you're looking at 5 to 7 people you usually have to coach a football team. And you need about 30 to 45 students to play. It's not like, you know, the basketball team is 15 and you need 3 times as many. So you know, we've had the success of the rugby program in the past. Rugby's a lot cheaper to run because you need a ball. Essentially, what you need, and instead of all the other stuff. So there is an expense that goes along with that. And there's also the added expense that you have to get extra insurance because it is a high risk sport. So there is some push on it with head injuries and stuff like that.
Anything else?
In the beginning of the year, we had open gyms for each and every grade, and for us grade 9s, we actually enjoyed the open gyms, so we feel like there should be more of those happening around the school.
Okay, that's good feedback. It's good in these towns when you're talking about stuff, it's also what's the good stuff, right? That you want to, it's not just this is what we want to add. Because you got to remember when you add something, sometimes you got to take something away, right? Because there's only so many things you can do. So we want to make sure you're not taking away the stuff that people actually like.
I don't think there's enough opportunity for kids at the school.
Or
And at the school, like, a lot of people, they're saying how even though like the school has risen and stuff, they don't have any auditions for risen. And we tried starting a cheerleading team, but it didn't work out because we didn't really have anywhere to practice. And there's not much like the students.
So what would you mean by dance? Like a competitive dance team or a
Like
club?
the dance team that we could go around and perform in different places, not just in the school. Like if we want to event that's happening in Scarborough somewhere. Like just a group of people were on it. Like I remember at my local formulation, we had a step team, and they went in the middle of Scarborough Town Center and just did a flash mob in the middle of it. Like stuff like that, just go around, like they just do stuff like that.
When there's home games, when there's other like home game sports on, they have to like say that there is that game on us so that people know about it because there's sometimes people that watch the sport but they don't know what the home games are. So I don't know what the home games are.
Possibly somebody use the social media as well.
Like tonight, the girls' senior and junior handball game here. So it's like
Shameless plug.
the juniors we're second game. So our game starts around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So usually by that time no one's there. I mean, like it's less nerve-wracking, but also at the same time it's like,
Something about that is they just made a Twitter account. It's called SJP2 Athletics. If you guys want to follow that, you can information for when your game is, or even the way the score is, who won, how we're doing in tournaments, how much tournaments you're going to be able
Yeah, so that, what's the address again?
SJP2 Athletics.
SJP2 Athletics. So that's, and that was designed specifically for that, because we were getting feedback about that. And that's done by McLean is one of the athletic directors, like staff athletic directors, and so it's a good thing to follow. It seems like there's got to be some way to, it's almost like you need a page with all of the Twitter accounts that you can just go to one place and just, to be able to, okay, I'll look into it.
I know something weird that came out was getting on the athletics board in front of kind of like one side of the cap, was to put like a list of all home games, a calendar and a list of home games. Is that something that you guys would actually look at?
Yeah.
If there's any phone games that you can like live stream it, like we're doing now, you can watch it.
Well, you know, that's not a bad idea. This is remarkably simple to do. It literally takes 5 seconds to set it up. And then just like with a better camera, I mean, that looks ridiculous, but it's supposed to be fucking good. But it actually gives us a pretty good picture. So live streaming, because what you could do also is there's a way to live stream onto the announcement app as well, right? The announcement screen. It's a little bit more of a step there, but to do this way isn't that bad idea. The one question about that is though, the one thing we got to concern ourselves is because it's public facing as opposed to Twitter or to YouTube, is a little bit around, you know, what are we allowed to show, right? Because it's students and all those sorts of things, and because, you know, identification, but that's still, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you know, there's sports on Rogers TV all the time and all that stuff, so I think we could pretty easily do that. It would be great to have one central location where you should go to find all this stuff, right? I mean, and our school, you know, our school website isn't the easiest to use or the easiest to update and stuff like that, so that's not probably the best. Maybe we could create something different, you know, some sort of even like a blog space or something that has central locations for that. It's a good idea.
So is there anything else that regards athletics or
Some of them were like ball hockey team.
Ball hockey? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's, I don't think in the TCA there's competitive ball hockey. I will tell you this though, you know, one of the schools we did ball hockey as an intramural school. And that was really, you know, fun. And the staff won. But it was good. And you know what the best sport was by far was what we call the tree ball, was like European handball. It's fast, it's fun, and nobody's really an expert at European. Like, I mean, if you have a basketball, I think there's basketball guys, basketball girls who are kind of sort of dominant. But like, who's a European handball expert, right? I mean, it's just fun. So that was great. That was great. That was amazing.
Okay, going on to the next question. Are there any social justice issues that need more attention or activism throughout our school?
Yeah.
With our first period class, there was a mention of the There's committee, and one of the ideas that we had was to help support like safe homes that they have for women who are being
either domestically abused or just abused in general. So we were thinking that we could do some sort of fundraiser to
That's great. So I think the Pink Panthers are starting up again. Is it today? Yeah, so it's today. So they're starting up. That's a great group. I would encourage you to, if you get invited, the first one is by invite, the staff invites. But we put a call out. Ms. Forrester and Ms. Vittori and a few other teachers were the first ones to start it, and put a call out to staff, just to female staff. Like I'm not even allowed. I can't. And that's good. Is that what you said? That's good. And this church probably doesn't come out there, but and like 27 female staff signed up, which is unbelievable for them to think about. And so they've done some good stuff, and it's just a matter of what we're getting into. But I like that idea for sure. And there are quite a few in our neighborhood, and there's not really enough. What else? Is there anything else that's an issue that people thought they would want to bring up?
We got we wanted to see more initiatives to help raise money for illnesses such as breast cancer this year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's always, when it comes to social justice things, there's a danger that can happen if you try to do everything. Right? You got to do everything not that well. So there's you kind of spread it out, and people can even get desensitized to it. Right? They can be like, oh, here's another thing, and it's just a matter of you're not even thinking about it. But if there's education that goes around with it, you pick maybe a couple. So I encourage the councils in the last few years to say, let's pick one charity a year that you're going to put some focus on instead of just randomly sort of picking them. But the other thing about fundraising is great for awareness too, right? There's an educational campaign around it.
To build on that, I want to see more money being raised to donate towards good causes. Your city's money, 50% of it always goes towards charities. So 50% always donate. And the other 50% goes towards running charities.
So of that two, one goes to somebody else.
So any other social justice issues that we should touch on? Volunteering. Food Gear is struggling to get their 40 hours.
You guys know about the freshman 40? Right? And then the incentives that go along with freshman 40. So let's throw it out. What ideas? Some people are saying they're doing it. How are you doing your 40 hours? How are you? Or are you hearing from people? Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's how I'm going to do it.
I like going back to those schools because, if you can simply ask your most graded teacher, maybe you can go after school and help them sports clubs or even work for hours here because it's if you can get hours done here, it's more easier than you're choosing for something.
Yeah, and that's why we want to know is there a way that we can help with that? Because there is an element of the council that deals with something like that. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Anybody else? Who else has done hours?
Holidays coming around, there's a lot of donations and just volunteer hours that are available for kids that can volunteer at different charities and stuff. Because there's a lot of elections being made and a lot of donations that are being made.
So that's a good point, is to get them done now. And that's the initiative, right? The freshman 40 is get it done before you, because you don't want to be doing that in grade 12. Right.
A lot of people are just struggling right now to finish their hours. So it's better to get it done early. Just don't have to stress about it later on.
Let's just get ahead of how many we have. How many of you guys already finished 40 hours? Have any of you guys started finished yet?
Be proud. Come on, raise your hand. And how did you do it?
I did it from 6 weeks on for the while. I'm able to
Okay.
And more hours now.
So you went back to elementary school. Well, it's good they like you, so that's good. If they don't like it, I don't know.
I have a student squad. So there is a volunteer opportunity happening this Saturday. So if you're free from I think 2 o'clock, there's an organization called Time for Teens, and basically they're singing Christmas carols at Downtown Square and raising money for homeless teens at the same time. time. So if you want to check that out, it's this Saturday. There's more details on the ESPC Twitter account, so check that out. So anything else social justice related? No? Okay. Okay. So do you guys have any questions about how decisions are made in the school or how events are run? Yeah.
I always like the music for the PA.
So the way that is that Mr. Pope, who's the music teacher, the head of the arts department and the head of the music program, he selects them all. So, now there was feedback about, students choosing it. That has happened in the past year, and it's not right. Students will pick music that, and a lot of times it's not malicious, but like you guys will think, well, what's the big deal? It's just a song, and you don't even know the lyrics necessarily. You don't even really listen to the lyrics. And I understand that because I was in the car with my kids, and my kids are younger than me, 12, 8, and 12, 10, and 8, and they were singing some lyrics. Like, whoa, what was that? And it's inappropriate. Like they should be. The 8-year-old should not be thinking about, come over tonight and all this stuff. And he's just singing it because he knows the words because he's heard it so many times with the songs. And so sometimes, in the past, what's happened is there's been like remarkably inappropriate lyrics. And so we've sort of said that staff is responsible for that. But perhaps there's feedback that you can give, and that's where you might be able to use. Maybe talk about JP Paul. Yeah.
Well, basically what JP Pulse is, have you guys ever seen JP Pulse review? Do you know what it is? No? Okay, basically it's this hashtag that you can use on Twitter, and you tweet out any problems within the school community or anything you want fixed or any positive change you want to see within our community. So you tweet about it and use the hashtag JP Pulse, and basically administration sees the tweet and then they do something about it. So.
Yeah, last year kids were tweeting out about. Somebody tweeted out a picture of like a broken microwave. Somebody tweeted out a picture of a kid actually printing, had brought his own printer to school, and was sitting in the cafeteria with his printer set up because he had to print out an essay that he had to finish. Now, I might responsible said, finish your essay before you run it. And then so we did some stuff. We bought some more microwaves. We tried to open up some printing stations. We're still trying to figure that part out, the printing thing, to be honest with you. So there is feedback. I monitor that. I look at it. All the time. I actually have an aggregator on my computer that when something comes up, it shows me that it's there. And so it's just a simple, just a hashtag JP Pulse.
Positive results actually come out of this. For example, that printing example. Last year, do you guys know how we can print things out for free in the guidance office? So, if you didn't know, you can print things out for free in the guidance office. Sometimes if you donate a little bit, so you pay for heaven, but it's like any amount. So before they didn't have that. They didn't have that until like midway last year. And if you wanted to print anything out last minute, you had to go to the library and pay. And there's like a certain fee per page. And also on top of that, the library was only open like 15 minutes before school and 15 minutes after school. So if you got there super early, you couldn't print it out, or you have to wait in line or something. I don't know. There was a lot of different problems.
Yeah, and the problem is that our funding got cut for that. The library, right? So we had to have a teacher in there at all times, and we used to have X number of teachers who would run it, and that got cut by the board. So, we still have teachers being there, so the library will sit closed at some points. And, the library is also our only common space. So like when the art show is going on now, it's harder to get into the library. Sometimes there's meetings there's personal meetings there sometimes, or there's events, there's PD events for teachers. We have to use the library, because the library gets shut down the entire day. And so we're still looking at how to do that. I'm not a huge fan of printing. I hate paper just because I'm living on a right most paper. And I would prefer it, and it costs money, right? It costs us. It costs us 1 cent every time a photocopy, every single photocopy that's made costs us 1 cent. Plus the paper, plus the amount of paper. And so we do something in the vicinity of, without an exaggeration, somewhere between like 4 billion copies a year. And so you start adding that up, where's that money? And that's coming from stuff, right? It's stuff that you would pay for other things, now you're paying for photocopies and for printing. That's why we try to offset it by charging for some stuff. We're still trying to wrestle with that, for sure. But has that been a frustration for you guys? I mean, it's been like for a few months, but has that been something that's come up? No? Well, that's good. I mean, maybe more people are thinking about it.
It's been more serious now because a lot of teachers, they don't like to accept, like, they don't like to accept work that's been written by hands. They always want it printed. But a lot of people either don't have ink for their printers at home or they don't have a printer in general. And they can't get their assignment in, so they're getting lower marks because they can't print it.
Right. And so we've been looking at, is there ways to do it electronically, right? Which is kind of, my hope is that people move that way as well. There's lots of different ways to submit work electronically. Not even if it's just email, but if you're using, there's lots of websites and lots of things you can do. There's Google, you all have Google Apps now, Google Drive. You all have a Gmail account, so you know what is going to be in. So there's ways to do it that way. We're hoping we can kind of move that. Sure. But we're hearing that. Yeah.
So anything else in regards to how decisions are made?
Another scary, maybe a search.
Why?
Well, people people enjoy Spirit Week.
Yeah.
Like in the fall, so maybe we will get more publicity. If we have it in the spring.
And what did you enjoy about Spirit Week? What elements? Well, just what you said.
Music and dressing.
There's something going on. So once Spirit is over, what's happening in Super quickly? Nothing's happening. What's happening. And also maybe using the cafeteria set. I don't know, it's fun. It's a break from work. It's gonna be
During the week, I usually focus on school and stuff. So when we had Spirit Week, it was a way to have everyone together. Everyone was in the library with the watermelon. Everyone would just start laughing and having fun together. So once Spirit Week was over, everyone just laughed. We were stressed out about work and stuff. Spirit Week was that 1 week we were all sit together, just relax for 2 seconds, just have fun.
When we were doing music in the craft, it was a lot easier to socialize with people that maybe you didn't socialize. So you could sing along with other people, and it was a lot easier to make friends.
Yeah. I mean, the one issue with music in the craft can be because there's classes going on at the same time. And there's classes that are pretty close to the cafeteria. If that music's too loud, and the sound system that we got is maybe too good. It's a really good system, but it's going to be really loud. There's a couple times last year I was in my office and I was like, what is going on? And I come down and say, okay, let's calm this down. Because classes are I can't even do anything. And that's the way the school is built. It just is what it is. But with moderation, there's things that you can do. When? When would be a good time?
Spring is what it's hot outside.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, so maybe you can utilize the courtyard a little bit, and get a main Spirit sort of thing. After exam, after first semester exams. Oh, I see. Yeah, because after summer exam, you're just gone. So it would be a pretty dense Spirit Week. That's interesting because you're starting new courses then at that point. Yeah.
The last week of school.
This semester is the last week of school in general.
In June. Yeah, I mean, there's grade 12 stuff that happens that week because it's their last week. So there's stuff that's there as well. I like the idea of utilize because you like to be able to utilize the courtyard. I mean, we do that now. Really, it's so nice now. Usually December you can't be out there. Good point.
But people were saying coaches have some dance or something, and then they don't really want to go dance during the year.
Yeah, that's kind of me, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of dances in school. It has nothing to do with anything I'm just going to make a Footloose reference, because you know what that is. It's not about, do you know what Footloose is? Have you seen Footloose? Kevin Bacon movie? Yeah, I'm not that Baptist minister saying that you can't have dance. It's security issues with it are a big thing. And I'll be completely frank with that. It takes one bad thing to happen at a dance that can change 50 great things. Right? I mean, the optics, the public opinion of the school is really, really important. I mean, you guys chose this school, and there's many different reasons why you might have chosen it. But you probably had conversations with people who were saying, there's certain schools you're not gonna go to because it's whatever. And I've been in a bunch of schools, and most of those rumors of schools are completely false. But it really doesn't matter if they're false. The word gets out. If one bad thing happens, if one, some sort of a security issue happens, and those dances are just, it's a really tough place to monitor and so I get very nervous. Any day that there's a dance, I get really, really nervous that night. I don't sleep very much because I don't want anything to happen to the kids and all that stuff. And just making sure everybody gets home safe and all that. But that's been sort of my thing. Yeah, there was Oliver dances a long time ago, but the last 10 years, that's it's pretty common across basically.
Is it possible that you can just do a little bit more dances and see how it works out?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you're right. We can see how it works out. The problem is if it works out bad, there's no getting that back, right? It's not like you can make up for it, right? It's just, it's bad, it's done. And if something happens, you'd be surprised how quickly it is. I've been in schools where something happened and that's it, right? Your enrollment drops. Kids don't want to come there anymore. Parents are saying that school is unsafe or whatever. I'm not sending my kids there. And all of a sudden, and it changes everything, like really drastically. On where it's like, I gotta get rid of teachers because I don't have enough students. Because remember, it's not like they say, JP2 has this many teachers no matter what. It all depends on you. Right? If kids don't come, then they take away teachers. I can't have it easy. Right? We're getting really close to the end. I would like one question answered though about school safety. Is there anything that think about that? Is there anything? Yeah. Okay, that I want to know about. Very specifically. Like that message has to be clear that there's none of that business here, right? So, catcalling, like any of that stuff. So as soon as it happens, I want to know. And I don't want it to go to like I want it. Okay? As soon as any of that stupidness happens, it's going to stop.
Just quickly, after 8:30, I observed that the back door, not the very back door, there's like in the corner of the school, that's always unlocked after 8:30, and I feel that should be automatically locked. Simple for just something to walk the school.
Yeah. It's a little tougher to lock. It's not like elementary school where all the doors are locked all the time, right? And we have to close it. It's a little harder because we have portals, so kids kind of come in and out. And because we have students that drive to school, we can't have one spot. Because our parking is literally everywhere in the school, right? So it's elementary school is a little bit easier to secure because one, you lock all the doors, you have a security system at the front. And you have like one spot where staff comes to drive it, and then nobody does. Whereas all day, we have kids who have like first period spare or last period spare, so it's kind of in and out. Which is right, I think you have to look at what doors need to stay open. There are some in some of the stairwells. There is one, the only stairwell that doesn't have any cameras is the front one, and there is one at the top, but the other stairwells do have cameras. Maybe you haven't seen them, but yes, they do. Yeah. We actually have a lot of them. That's actually a crosswalk closer to the school. That was actually something we brought up last year. One of the civics classes did a whole presentation to Councillor Ainsley, who's our city councillor. And they did a traffic study because we actually counted how many kids were crossing the streets, for 10 minutes in. And it was alarming. The planning commission rejected the idea. So that's being challenged by Councillor Ainsley. In February, there's an open, like this, sort of like a civic discussion about it. So we're going to bring a bunch of students. If you're interested in it, you should let me know, or let your reps know, because they're bringing a bunch of students to sort of challenge that. Say, do you think it should be moved up? You can't put another one there. What they're saying is the one that's down by the plaza, move it up. Because it's not accounting for Vaughansville where everybody cuts through. And that, you gotta understand, that development, when that crosswalk was put in, that development wasn't there. So when I was a student here, there was no houses across the street. people wouldn't cut through because it would be a bloody pass. Those cells have been built in the last 10 years, and that changes the flow of air. Okay, this is great. Thank you guys so very much. You were amazing representatives.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Now, good luck.